you lovely people. Welcome to the channel. It's Rad. And just 1 second to get the cards near me. And tonight the subject of the stream is going to be Venus that is entering in Libra. And it's happening at the 13th of October, which pretty much means tomorrow for you, my American friends. It's already 13 for me. At 5:19, that is PM. Venus is going to make its ingression in Libra, I'm sorry. And the transit there is going to be all the way up until November 6th, 5:39 PM. So 20 to 4, when Venus is going to ingress in the sign of Scorpio. Therefore, the subject for tonight's reading is going to be how this transit in between the start and the end of Libra. So how Venus is going to affect us in those 29 days, give or take. It's 23 days, give or take. So the first thing that I'm usually doing, that will be the collective reading. And collectively, Venus is going to affect us through those three cards. Now, the first one, that is 8 of Swords. The second card, that is the Queen of Wands. And the third one, we have the Star card. Okay, so those three, that is the elemental dignity of the transit itself. Good morning, News Devon. Welcome to the stream. I hope you have a nice time. And the influence of Venus will be quite productive for all of us, for the reason being is that it's going to meet us with the right person. That may be, depending on your situation, of course, because it's a collective reading, that may be a right person for you to date with, a right person for you to business with, or just to gossip with, whatever is your poison. Although this person, why is going to be right for you and for us, or for me as well, it is because they will have the recipe how to fulfill standards, or in other words said, how to fulfill certain wishes we have, wishful results, dreams even. And this is where the positive side of the Venus in Libra kind of ends, because this recipe of success, so to speak, it's not going to be of our liking. It will be like, what are you saying? I mean, I got to do this in order to get that. So it will be underwhelming when you realize kind of what is asked from you to do. And it's not like it's someone's desire on a whim. It's what's going to take to get to that desired results, whether to find a house or to date with the guy or the girl. They may have a precarious expectation, a precarious demand that you just have to fit in if you want to get out with them, and start dating. Start dating them. So bottom line is that when we realize what we got to do, we're going to feel very, very restricted. And it's like there is no room to breathe, and it is just only one-dimensional process from there on moving forward. Though a process deprived of issues, deprived of problems, deprived of turmoil, even if you will, chaos, and it's going to be one smooth journey. It's going to be one smooth experience, so to speak. But we don't have to like it, and at least the start of it, it's not going to be something that we will really gonna like. But hey, it's going to produce results, and what we can also hope for here and rely on is a longevity. So if that's a date, it's going to be a long-term date. It's a business, it's going to be a long-term business. But again, the request from us will be something not of our liking, at least not at the start. And you can't have it 100%, right? I mean, one thing has to give to another. And here the process is going to be the one that needs to give to the culmination and to the result. So that was the collective reading. And now a few notes about the show. There are going to be 12 readings, just like this one for each star sign. And I'm going to run down the ecliptic, meaning that I'm going to start from Aries, moving forward through Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, and so on and so forth, all the way up to Pisces. Now, bear in mind that these are generalized readings, and listening to your sun sign, meaning the sign that you are born under, will give you an idea what kind of events and situations you're going to be into, or what Venus, what kind of situations and people Venus is going to provoke to happen in your life. However, listening to your moon sign is super important as well, because the moon sign is going to show you whether you're going to like those things or not. So just for example, you know, your sun sign may show that you are going to have to separate with someone in your life, but the moon sign may show that you're going to feel fantastic. Therefore, this separation is something you would want to do. It is just something that it is a target of yours. It doesn't have to be a bad one. So that's why it's very, very important to listen to your moon sign as well. If you know your rising sign, this is also an important listen, because the rising sign will give you, it's a guidance reading. It's going to give you an idea what's going to be the best way to handle stuff around. So listening to all three of your major signs is going to give you a pretty good idea what kind of a transit is ahead of you, and also is going to personalize your experience through the readings very, very much. Other than that, if you do wish to have a personal reading with me, you can go to my website. The link you can find in the description down below. And if you want to support the channel financially, you can do so using Super Chat or PayPal. Again, the link you will find in the description down below. And anyone who does so is going to have a reading at the end of the stream, just like News Devon did. News Devon, thank you for the £5. Thank you. Jasmine, thank you for the $20 US. Thank you. And Chandra, thank you for the $10 US. Thank you. Let me go put you into the list, and at the end of the stream, you're going to have a personalized reading on the transit, because your super chat carries no inquiry currently. So hold on a second. Right. Okay. So first star sign that I'm going to read for, that will be Aries. You can keep up what star sign I'm reading for through the glyph being displayed up, right there. Okay, so you do have the illustration and the glyph, and if you are watching it on a video, you can just skim ahead until you find your star sign and just listen to the reading there. So first one, that will be Aries. Let me shuffle, and let's have a look what we got. Queen of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, you will collaborate with someone. For you, that date, so to speak, quote unquote, with the perfect person will be full steam ahead. And there is going to, this Venus in Libra will be a transit where you will collaborate extensively with a person. It could be a man, it could be a woman, you know, depending on your situation. And this person is going to happen to be very, very meticulous, doing things one at the time, being very consistent, being very methodical, and also quite tenacious to top it all off. And the thing is that this person is going to keep things very, very simple, and if you will as well, very, very stupid. So if there is a matter that you lack understanding into, to be very easy for you to delve into that matter and just keep up with the collaboration with this person. The result of this collaboration, actually a couple of results. One is that you will be able to exit some kind of what was the word here? Dependency. So if you're dependent of a loan that you do have, or you have to pay back some kind of a favor, or if you are dependent of your job and you can't say, you know, skip a day, or you have to live for your job because, you know, you rely on it and whatnot, then these dependencies are going to basically be taken down. You're no longer gonna have to be dependent of those things. That will give you a lot of freedom and is going to open up your environment for different possibilities which were always around you. You just didn't have the time nor the awareness to look at them. So the result for you from that Venus transit is going to be more possibilities for you to explore and capitalize on. And the result of that will be you consolidating your future. What I mean is that you will end up after these 23 days being much more stable than the time you have entered into the transit. Hello Susie, hello Yarabi, welcome to the stream. I hope you girls have a good time for the next hour or so. Next one, that will be Taurus. Six of Swords, the Chariot, the Strength, ooh, man, I mean, you are going to be quite proud of yourself when this transit is done, because we're talking about transition. That is what Venus in Libra will trigger in your life. A transition you have been afraid of making, for the reason being is that it seemed that this transition, I'm sorry, have, what word should I use here? Contained, or was containing a odds that was quite overwhelming. So literally the impression you had thus far is that once you initiate that transition is that you are going to be against the odds and you won't be able to, you know, end up on top. And just a quick example of it, you may have wanted to quit your job or to quit your relationship even because you are unhappy, and you couldn't see further than your job and your relationship, so you thought by this point that you will be lost if you do so, and so you will never went to that transition. But this is going to be no more, because Venus in Libra is going to build up a lot of courage and is going to build up a lot of enthusiasm for you to look for a new shores, for a new heights. And the action or the step or the decision that you had been afraid of taking up until this point now is going to be very easy for you to make. And once you do it, you will see that there is nothing for you to be afraid of. Literally, that was the hardest thing ever, making the very first step. And once you do so, well, you're going to be one step closer to your dream and, you know, to your, so to speak, your wishful result. Yasmin, thank you for the 20. Thank you, Yasmin. Let me put you into the list. Oh, you're already into the list. I actually haven't removed you from it like for a very, very long time. Thank you for your continuous support. Thank you, Yasmin. Right, so Taurus, one thing I need to add here is that you, even though you're going to have a lot of doubts whether you're doing the right thing or not, moving away, because this is what boils down to, you are, because according to these cards there isn't anything more you can get from the situation that you are in right now, and you just need some kind of a fresh air. And that's and how can I put it into words? Um, so yeah, you need a breath of fresh air. And this step can only lead to it. Nothing worse than what you are in it right now can be provoked through that step. And the trigger here is going to be some kind of an enthusiastic promise, like a promise for a better job, a promise for a better relationship, something like it. Because a quite enthusiastic long-term goal is going to trigger your courage to make that step you are afraid of doing up until this point. And by the end of the transit, like I said, you will be very, very proud of yourself. So next one, that will be Gemini. I don't know fact and receipts. I am not an astrologer. I use the transit just for a time frame and for a influence that they are putting on us. But what this mean for your natal chart, I don't know. King of Wands for Gemini, Queen of Swords, Knight of Pentacles. It's gonna be quite a party for you, Gemini. Uh, Venus in Libra is going to ignite your ambition. So you're going to find yourself being very steadfast and tenacious, driving forward, because that will be the moment where you're going to have all the circumstances and all the means to transform your ambition into a very successful and powerful drive, powerful actions where they are going to make things happen. One of the circumstances is going to be that you're going to have a super important and valuable ally. That is a person who just is getting the job done. That is a person who has the connections. They do have the information. They do have everything that you're going to need in order to make things work and in order to make things happen. So that's Venus in Libra will probably translate into your career more than anything else. And there you're just going to be able to push your things through collaborating with that individual, although there is going to be another individual around that simply wouldn't be able to keep up with you both, right? So the key here is to maintain a good terms with both of those without allowing the one who is slowing you down, who can slow you down, to have an influence over your deeds. So it's like getting closer or befriending the one that has the means, that has the connections, right? That simply has the information, and isolating the other one that simply, it's not just only they can't keep up, but they can't also break rules or interpret rules the way that is going to benefit them. And that is in many cases what you are going to have to do in the next 3 weeks if you want to make your ambition real. So it's time to kind of like roll up your sleeves, unbutton your shirt, and get to work. Right, next, that will be Cancer. Yeah, Google knows everything, especially with their new AI. I rarely have to click a website. It's just you write what you need, and the AI gathers up an information, and it's plastering it, and it plasters it at the top of your screen, so you seldom even have to click a website. Seven of Cups, the Chariot, Justice. Venus in Libra is going to give your chance, is going to be the time frame of your chance. Now think of the thing that you have been prohibited from. It was forbidden for you. Okay, whether you didn't stood the chance applying for the job, or whether you didn't stood the chance dating someone and whatnot, Venus in Libra is going to provide you with that chance. It will be very difficult ordeal. Just to warn you, you can't rely on any help whatsoever. Everything you have to basically pull through on your own. And it will feel like a big struggle. I mean, it's going to take a mighty efforts to pull things through and to transform the impossibility, or what was impossible, into a real possibility. So you're going to have your chance on your, say, dream that was impossible by that point, now is going to be possible. The capability, I would put it that way, the capability or the possibility, the potential is to get what you wish, but it will take everything you got and then some more, because you are gonna have to leave unattended some responsibilities which are very, very important in order to capitalize on that chance you are going to be given. Whether you're going to take it or not, it's entirely up for you to decide, but in order to do so, you have to be very objective, grounded, and at least for these 23 days, the emotions you are feeling have to be on the backstage. You need to be grounded, in tune with reality, methodical, and act according to the situation. So you have to be grounded to the earth rather than flying into the cloud nine. Next, that will be Leo. Knight of Wands. Eight of Wands. Eight of Cups. This is a super unexpected good fortune. So let me try to explain it with example. Let's say that you are expecting your salary to get increased at the start of the new year, okay, the start of the new cycle. And if that's the example where the energy of those three cards is going to manifest, you're going to get the increase within the next 23 days. So it's delivering in advance the good fortune that is that you are bound to experience, that it is bound to befall you in the future. And this is going to open up a lot of also possibilities for you to capitalize on that good fortune. It will allow you, for example, to buy the present for Christmas that say your child wants, but with the current salary you couldn't afford. Or it's gonna allow you to buy a new car if you have planned to buy one or whenever your salary gets increased. It's just is gonna allow you to tap into the options that you are anticipating for when that good fortune comes around, that you are expecting it to come later into the future. Another example, you may have agreed upon someone to call you in a couple of weeks or in a month to go out on a date, or say in couple of months to go out on a date, and they call you say in a couple of days rather than a couple of months. So the good fortune you're expecting comes far earlier than actually was established to come about. And this again opens up a lot of options in front of you. One thing you need to know though is that whenever that happens, you will have quite of an enterprising routes in front of yourself. So quite of an enterprising options. It will be very difficult for you to choose how exactly things should happen, how exactly things should move forward. Not because the situation is going to be difficult, but because every option is going to be super interesting for you, but you can just take advantage of that much more, right? I mean, you can't be everywhere at the same time. So you gotta end up deciding how you wanna go about things. And that's why you need to have steadfast nature and be very decisive when it comes to that. You need to choose what option you want to go by with. The only thing that will be a bit negative for you, and even I can't even say that it's going to be negative, it's going to be more like unpleasant, is that once you pick up your poison, so to speak, you gotta drink it to the bottom. I mean, it's bottom up time. That is an option. Once you decide, you gotta stick with it. You can't backtrack. You can't have a second guess, right? I mean, you can't get back on your choice. You just have to get through it to the very end, to the culmination of the endeavor and the enterprise. For example, if it is about buying a car with the increased salary, you can't just return back the car. You have to drive it until you buy a new one. That's the thing. So you got to be very careful which choice you're gonna end up with. And once something suits you, it will be advisable for you to take it, because also such a state, people are very prone to burnouts where their interests wanes down super quickly, and they just don't see reason after that to do anything. Okay, next, that would be Virgo. Four of Swords. Death. Page of Cups. It's a bit sad for you, Virgo. This transit is going to be about saving a future, um, of a relationship. It doesn't have to be intimate relationship though, but it will be a relationship. It may be friendship, it may be business relationship, but you both have a emotional attachment to one another. You may like each other as friends, you may love each other as friends, or like each other as a business partner. business partners, or just love each other like lovers. I mean, it will be quite individualized depending on what situation you are in right now. And it is just within that relationship, things feel very arid, very dry. At that point, it's like there isn't anything else you can explore within that relationship, or at least that's going to be the feel. Like it will feel that this relationship just lived its time and now it's pretty much dead. And that's not true. And that's why with this Venus in Libra will trigger a quite a profound conversations in between you and that person in order to find what to love each other for. Okay, to pretty much change the concept of the future that concerns you both, and you're gonna find a concept that it's worth living for, and it's worth keeping on moving forward together. And one of the biggest reasons why you're going to find that concept is because through these conversations you will clear out all the irritating minor details, and you will now put your or turn your glance towards the future, towards the bigger picture. And you both are gonna freaking like what you're gonna see within the bigger picture. So you're gonna find a reason to keep up together. For how long though? Well, that's entirely up to you both. Oh, Madeline, there are those times where things are very heavy emotionally. I went through such a period quite recently, and I can totally understand. Right, next, Libra. Oh, they are. Six of Swords. Ooh, the Lovers. Oh my God, the Sun. You're welcome. You don't have to. Well, you're welcome, but it's just what the cards showed. If they displayed something unpleasant, I would have said it. Wow, for Libra, it's an awesome transit. Bear with me a minute to find the proper words to deliver. Um, it's multi-layer transit, so it's gonna affect you on a few fronts or on a few layers. I'm gonna touch a couple of them, the most significant ones. One is going to be a replacement. Most likely happening within your career, that is going to be a replacement, for example, of a project that runs very sluggishly. And the reason why it runs very sluggishly is because it's not like you're not good at what it's required to be done. It's just it's not your preferred skill, so to speak. And it's not your preferred field of knowledge, so to speak. So you're doing your job, but not as well as you could have done if you know, that skill required or that knowledge required is something you are interested in. It is something you are natural in. And so this subject is going to be replaced with a subject that falls supernaturally to you. The skill is a talent of yours, the knowledge is something you're interested in, so it's not going to feel like work anymore. It's going to feel like entertainment, so to speak. So that is one thing. The other is that you are going to be presented with a decision, a very important one, that once you do it or once you make that decision, then your life will become very harmonious with your surroundings. The decision, it's entirely up to your preferences. It's not going to be neither wrong or right. You just have to make up your mind whether you're going to take what you need or whether you're going to take what you want to. And that's the problem here, that what you need is going to be different from what you want to. Each one of those will carry on its consequences and also its benefits, and you just have to, based on your personal preference, to decide with which consequences you want to live with and what benefits you can capitalize on. That is no different than, you know, you need a job and in front of you sits two options. One that pays very well, but the job itself is something you would literally hate yourself doing. The other option is a job that barely pays to meet ends for the month, but it's a job you would love to do. Which one you're going to go for, entirely up to your preference. But once you make up your choice, your life will become 100% harmonious, at least for the next 23 days. The decision will be a difficult one, and it's just, again, it all falls to how courageous you are to make up your mind and to make that step toward the unknown. Okay, next one, that will be Scorpio. Six of Pentacles, Two of Cups, Nine of Pentacles. Well, most likely intimately involved. Venus in Libra is gonna put us with the right people uh, to establish unity with. And again, most likely does involve love life. That Venus in Libra, for those of us that are single, or for those of you, because I do have a girlfriend, but those of you who are single, Scorpio, is gonna meet you with the person to make love with, that completely fits not with just within your criteria, but completely fits within your hierarchy level. That is someone that is interested in your stuff. That is someone that is interested, you know, in your environment, in your life, in everything, and they fully match with, you know, what you're going through right now and how you basically conduct your life. And together, when you meet each other, how you're going to recognize the individual, that they aren't shy. They share almost everything. You can talk about with them. You can talk with them about everything that is happening around without having to experience any egotism from the other side, without having to experience any chastising, without having to experience any shyness, like I said, or being looked from a high horse. It's just someone who accepts you as equal and it is someone who is willing to put the work to make things move forward. For those of us who are in a relationship, that the relationship is going to become, can I put it into words, more symbiotic, for a lack of better words here. So basically, our lives are going to align even more until they become one whole, and this is going to be a predisposition to make a huge leap into a further development of the relationship. So Venus in Libra for a Scorpio is all about manifesting love in our lives. Sagittarius next. Nine of Swords, Two of Swords, the Lovers. Pretty easy for Sagittarius reading, or for Sagittarius transit. It's overcoming the FOMO. FOMO is the fear of a missing out. So Venus in Libra manifests for you and influences a subject of your life that it is a under revision, and what is expected from you is to render your verdict, to make up your mind what you want to do about it. For example, you may have two people you are interested in almost equally, right? I mean, you are interested to make a relationship with, and you just can't decide which one is better. But you don't want to make up your mind on a whim, because you are afraid that you're going to miss out. If you make the wrong choice, you're going to miss out on the right one. So that is the FOMO thing. Usually also it's how can I put it into words, it's used in merchandise when you are afraid that, for example, the goods are gonna run out and you wouldn't be able to get your hands on them. And this is also when that fear shows up. But for you is about not making the right choice or the most beneficial choice for you and missing on it by taking the lesser good. Because it's all about that, whether you're going to take the better or the bigger or the lesser good. And within the next 23 days, for the most part, you wouldn't make up your mind. That is because these two options or three options, four options, they will maintain an equilibrium for you. So your preference is going to be to wait out. And this is going to be the right move, because as time goes forward, these options are going to start dropping off. And at the end, only one is going to remain, the one that it is the best for you. That will become pretty obvious which of these options is going to be the best one for you. And once you take it, that will solve a lot of concerns, a lot of problems, and is going to again harmonize your life for you, and you will overcome that fear of missing out. Okay, next, that will be Capricorn. Ten of Cups, Six of Swords, Ten of Swords. Venus in Libra is going to take the edge off from you. Where it's going to manifest, it's an area in your life that you are anticipating some kind of a crisis. It may be in your career, it may be in your relationship, but the transit of Venus, its influence is gonna take that edge off, and the crisis, although it may ensue, it will be far milder than what you are anticipating, and it's not going to be that decisive. What I mean is that your anticipation is that whether it's gonna make it or break it, or that is going to bring you to a point where you have to let go of something like loss, right? It's going to bring you to a point of loss. While even if it happens, it's not going to bring you to that point of loss, like losing your job or losing your relationship or losing a friend and whatnot. While it may bring some unpleasant experiences, it is going to leave you say a backdoor where you're going to have a contingency plan, how to avoid the loss of either your spouse or either your job or either a client, and so on and so forth. And once you are you weather that crisis, things are going to normalize to a point where you're going to feel very, very fulfilled of how things ended up for you. So it's weathering a crisis that is not going to be as big as you think, and it's not going to put you with your back against the wall as hard as you think. Right, next, that will be Aquarius. Hey, Taco, welcome to the stream, mate. Nine of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, Five of Cups. Now it's a rough one for Aquarius. I am rising Aquarius. All right, so I don't know what exactly is going to be. Obviously, it's going to be pretty individualized for each one of you. But within this Virgo in Libra, you Aquarius are going to miss a super good opportunity. And the reason why you're going to miss it is because you are going to be afraid of that this opportunity actually is going to worsen the situation for you rather than improve it. So basically you have to go against what you are afraid of. Okay, and just to give you an example, say you like someone but you are afraid of sharing that with this person because you are going to end up being denied, for example. And this is exactly what you have to go against, right? You're afraid of saying that you like the guy or the woman, you gotta go and say it. Or you're afraid of asking for more money, you gotta go and ask. You're afraid of applying for that job, you gotta go and apply for the job. Otherwise, you're gonna miss a very, very rare opportunity to further your goal, which is gonna either manifest as a super lucrative job or lucrative business deal, or is going to manifest as a harmoniously flowing pretty much relationship here. And the best way how you can overcome the fear is to think of what could happen. What is the worst that can happen? Okay, for example, you're going to end up being rejected. That's good, because at least you ain't gonna waste your time hoping that that things in between you and that person can work out. or you're going to be said no on raising the salary. At least you ain't going to have a unrealistic goals and unrealistic expectations that one day that can happen, right? And you will know that it's time for you to look for another job, and so on and so forth. So you are not benefiting from kind of like allowing that fear of action to restrict you. On the contrary, you are just losing one of the precious thing, the most precious thing ever. Because if you lose money, you can make money. If you lose friends, you can make friends. Oh, if you lose a potential love interest, you can find a new love interest. But if you lose time, you can't make time. It's gone. Okay, you cannot make a back time. You can't earn time in any way. It's gone. So don't allow that to happen. Just don't allow fear to restrict you of taking on options or scratching options away. Right, and last but not least, that will be Pisces. Give me a second here. You're welcome, Susie. Knight of Swords for Pisces. Page of Swords. The Star. You will have your eyes being opened. Venus in Libra also, for you also is going to be the moment where you are introduced to the right person for you, and the reason why the person is going to be right for you is because they're, like I said, going to open your eyes for that. It doesn't have to be that way. Okay, so where that person is going to show up is in a situation where you have to decide how to proceed, but the options that are in front of you, or the options that you see are in front of you, are options of a compromise. Neither of them works to its fullest, and all of them contain some kind of a compromise that you have to make. And so that person, when you display the information in front of them, they're going to say, wait a minute, have you not thought about doing that? And when they say that, when they say their thought, when they divulge what they came up with, you will be stunned how good of an option they are displaying in front of you, because it's going to be one that is going to work 100% and simultaneously is going to be aligned with your emotions, meaning that you would freaking love to explore and also to execute that option. Not just only that, but it's going to resolve all of the issues that are accompanying the situation, and after that is going to give you full reign for you to uphold your standards, to uphold your ideals, and that to be in place, or rather like to be in effect for a very, very long time. And this person is gonna come at the last, not at the last moment, but at the moment you least expected to get help, and is going to be a person that it is the least person you are expecting help from. It may be, I don't know, your fearsome enemy that is going to come around and lend you a hand for their own reasons, and it is a hand that you don't have to decline. Actually, there is no reason for you to decline at all, and that may be a point. It's not going to happen that way for all of you, but the energy is very strong that is going to push you in that direction, that you're going to see something you haven't saw in that person before, and you are going to feel attracted to it. All right, so that was for the 12. And now I'm moving toward the super chat. Anyone who supported or is about to support the stream through super chat, you guys are going to have a reading, personalized reading right about now. And the first one, that is Jasmine. But first, a minute or two of break just to catch up my breath. All right, Jasmine, those are your cards. So you may not believe that, but Venus in Libra uh, is going to introduce you to a man that doesn't get impressed very easily, but you are going to impress him. And this connection that you both are going to establish will not going to be supported almost by anyone that it is around. In fact, there is going to be a lot of talks about you and that man, how much of an impression you made in him. I don't know if we're talking about a romantic impression or a business impression, but definitely uh, whatever that connection you're going to establish with this man is going to be very substantial and essential for your well-being from here on moving forward. And it will be in a field of your life where I can't really say where you have lost hope for, but it is a field where you are feeling like you are in a dark tunnel right now, and this man happens to be the light at the end of this particular tunnel. One thing that it is important for you to know when the universe introduces you to that man and you start interacting with each other is to apologize for that. It's to play low in a sense of expectations and in a sense of challenges. So don't be too challenging for him, and don't start right away with the expectations and with the demands. Be a bit more carefree, a bit more unattached, okay, and also a bit more superficial, at least at first, just until you get to know each other a bit well. And after that, you may talk about, what future is ahead of you. Okay, next, that will be Yasmin. Hey, Yasmin. You're welcome, Jasmine. Hmm. Rough one here. Probably does concern your career, Jasmine. Yasmin, I'm sorry. Not Jasmine, but Yasmin. So those are the cards for you. Okay, we do have the World, Seven of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, and Venus in Libra is going to trigger for you a fulfillment of an agreement or of a contract, of a commitment, a fulfillment in words or by letter, but not in spirit. And this is where is going to be the issue, at least for you. And that's why I think that that is either a client or a business partner, you know, or a colleague that you are working with, and you have agreed to do one job, they to do another, and then combined together, you know, you can get the whole job done. And while they will hold to their word, okay, um, on paper, the job isn't going to be get done in spirit, and this will cause an issue, at least for you. It's going to cause for issue. And the worst with that Ace of Swords to the world is that you will not going to notice it at first, and probably that state is going to surprise you at the moment where you think that everything is sorted out, everything is in the bag, and suddenly, bang, it isn't. Okay, certain issues are appearing left, right, and center, and the commitment is just, it's not that it's culmination, and you have to give extra from yourself without getting any extra from it. And it just is gonna feel like, you know, you have been, I can't really say betrayed, but like beguiled into a partnership, into a commitment that simply did not give what it was promised. I do think that that is a commitment that it is ongoing. It is not something you can go back on at any stage right now. But you can minimize the consequences of it by opening up the terms and requesting a review, or rather like doing a review of the work or the commitment of everyone that you are in a partnership with. That way, at least you're going to know where to expect the blow to come from. Okay, next it's Chandra. You're welcome, Yasmin. I don't know if you can put an end to it, but kind of like identifying where the heat can come from, you can definitely delay the process and or postpone the culmination until you know, you sort the things out. You still have to get extra, but this time around is to deflect the blow rather than to take it head on. Taco, thank you for the $22.22. Thank you, Taco. Let me finish Chandra's reading, and after that, News Devon's reading, and then you're gonna have yours. Those are the cards for you, Chandra. We do have the Chariot with the Nine of Cups, and Venus in Libra will trigger in you the ability to triumph against the odds and to accomplish a desired results, wishful results, which are going to make you not just only be very happy at the end of this transit, but as well very, very proud of yourself. Although that is going to be a state that will require, once you reach that culmination, once you reach that triumph, this triumph is going to put you in a state that you constantly have to maintain in order to keep afloat. But you definitely going to beat the odds. That is what Venus in Libra is going to trigger for you. Okay, next, News Devon. Your inquiry requires a Lenormand draw, just so you know. rather than tarot. So let me shuffle and see what can you expect next for this week. Those are your cards. Rocky, thank you for the 28 Canadian. Mwah. Thank you, Rocky. Let me put you into the list. So I don't know how much sense that is going to make to you, what these three cards, News Devon, are saying. It is that you are going to learn some kind of an information that is regarding the place you live in and is concerning a woman. And this information was mispresented beforehand. So you will learn the truth about that. So bottom line is that that woman misled you, and now you are gonna receive the accurate information, and it is concerning the place you are living in, whether the place you're renting or the place you own. So that is what you can expect this week to happen to you. And probably based on this information, you can now make an appropriate action to, get ahead of the situation. Okay, next, that will be Taco. So weird. Okay, Rocky. I will answer your inquiry. Thank you for it. All right, Taco, those are the Lenormand cards. Um, so what I do think is that this is going to be a document you're going to get from a woman. The reason for it are those two cards. Those three cards, I'm sorry. It's because there is a person involved. Which person is, let's put it that way, professionally bound to the matter, like a lawyer or a medical doctor or something like that. And the subject is binding. That's why I think it's a document that it will be delivered to you by a woman. And this document is gonna bind you, but also it will be a resolution to your concerns and to your problems right now. Like, for example, a receipt, a recipe for medicine, or say a document regarding your will, or the will you are expecting, or concerning your visa, something like this. So uh, when you receive it, while this either information or a document is going to be binding, like I said, is going to resolve a lot of your concerns that you do have, or a problems that you are facing right now, and simply is going to open up an expanding energies of growth for you. Yes, the Sun card could also be considered as a monetary gains, big monetary gains. So hopefully that is the thing, because I know that you are expecting that to happen for a very, very long time, and I hope that Venus in Libra triggers that for you. But it will be important to listen to this person who is delivering you the document, because what they can share with you, it's a strategy how to make things work, and it's not a strategy that is gonna be difficult to manifest, not at all. It just is gonna feel restrictive and binding, but other than that, it will be something that you're gonna see no issue of doing. Okay, and next, that will be Rocky. You have a particular inquiry. How do I resolve this conflict I am in? Okay. You're welcome, Taco. I'm waiting for that email. Um, Rocky, is it a romantic issue? Those are your cards. Is it a romantic issue or a business issue? Asking because they interpret differently depending on the nature. Husband. Yeah. Okay. By any chance to be involved either a trip or inheritance, like a traveling or inheritance? The answer is pretty simple. Simple. Forgiveness. That's one. Three things you can do to resolve the conflict you are in with your husband. Forgiveness. That's one. That is because what's done, it's done. That is through this elemental dignity here. Okay. What's done is done. And once swallowed, and how can I put it into words? Forgived about. Um, the circumstances in the future are going to improve drastically. Through that forgiveness, additionally, you are going to show your husband that he's everything you have ever wanted. That doesn't have to be true. It is just how he is going to see things, and he's going to see that, there is no reason to hold animosity, for example, for things that can't be changed. That's one. Another thing you can do to resolve the conflict is take back on certain expectations and demands that you are currently upholding. Just omit them, don't have them any longer. And this is gonna make some, how can I put it into words, uh, unpleasant performance your husband has to do to be in effect no more. And so they're gonna have, your husband is gonna have more pleasant experience, and therefore is going to resolve the conflict. And the third thing you can do is surprise your husband with a travel. Buy a holiday somewhere or schedule a holiday somewhere and surprise him with it. Learn where he would love to visit. Buy a ticket for there and surprise him with it. And this is gonna get you a long way forward by resolving it. It's gonna make him forget about the conflict. That's why I asked whether there is a traveling involved in it, because this is the best circumstance you can resolve the conflict from. Okay, it's a surprise, a secret traveling plans revealed at the very last minute to your husband. Jasmine, thank you for another 20. With a specific inquiry, what has happened that Jason is acting differently towards me? Let's have a look. But if you go for the travel, this is high risk, high reward move. And again, it's very important that it is a destination your husband would love to visit, not just, traveling somewhere random. It has to be a place where he always wanted to visit. You're welcome, Rocky. You see what I'm talking about here, Rocky? Forgiveness. That's the first step. You're welcome. Those are the cards, Jasmine. Something happened to his health. He thought that things were okay. It turned out that they weren't. Doesn't have to be like illness or sickness, you know. He may, for example, learn that he is predisposed to some kind of condition, and that's kind of like changes people, you know, and it changed him because it's a bit of a shocker when you think that what is rock solid turn out to be extremely fragile, and you have to change your habits, you have to change your lifestyle, and you have to rediscover the world and how to live your life. So that is how can I put it into words, a process that he's going through right now, which does not exonerate him from the fact that he's destroying the connection and the relationship you do have. And at least according to these cards, he will keep on doing it. Unless, you decide not to take things personally, because that is one of the reasons why you are paying attention to that um, different act that he does have. If you aren't taking things personally, and kind of like you keep things in between you two superficial, very detached, very spontaneous, and whatnot, you will find joy again into the connection you have with him, and you will rediscover, can I put it into words, new points of passion that you both can share, because that is what he needs right now, to reinvent the wheel of life. And again, it doesn't have to be a condition. For example, he may have a friend that turned out to be gravely ill, and he got scared that he may end up like that, and that changed his view of life. And he doesn't act just towards you differently, he does act toward everyone in a different way, at least at that stage. Yeah. All right, guys and girls, this is gonna do it for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your generosity as well. Thank you. Next time, which is going to be at 16th, what do we have then? Mm, The 21st, we do have new moon in Libra. When it's 21st. So the 16th. I'm going to do another what do we need to know? Kind of like immediate guidance. And at the 19th, I'm going to do the new moon in Libra. Hold on a second, just to check again. So we do have on the 21st. Then on the 22nd, it's the sun in Scorpio, which I would love to do. So yeah, on the 16th is going to be the new moon in Libra stream. And then on the 19th is going to be the sun in Scorpio stream. So it's settled then. All right, guys and girls, again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a good time and I hope to see you Thursday. Until then.